Your Weather Authority forecast from meteorologist Amber Wheeler.
Well, another round of heat and storms, very hit or miss, but if you find yourself under one, of course, heavy downpours, winds, and of course, some frequent lightning will be the biggest threats from these storms. A higher storm threat exists for your Thursday. So here's where we're at in terms of the noon hour radar. It's gotten a little more excited with the daytime heating. None of these storms are strong, but they are giving just quick little brief heavy downpours, one moving through Shell Beach, one moving through parts of the New Orleans metro there. A lot of this is just light to moderate rain, and we have seen a few showers develop there on the North Shore down I-59 right now. But here's where we stand, 84. As you can see there, we did have that shower that moved through the New Orleans airport. We were at 91 when we started the show, and that really dropped us. That shows you just how easy it is to drop the number with those rains. Now, of course, the feels like has dropped as well, but we've been feeling like 103, 104 through much of the morning. So the model's picking up on that, really keeping this widely scattered for today. Again, brief heavy downpours, not expecting anything severe, but with all the heat and humidity we have, of course, that's something that we'll be watching. Now, there's a little bit of a difference on Thursday's storms. We got the daytime heating that sparks some storms, but notice we have some energy coming in from the north. When you get that lift, that extra lift coming in, that helps things fire off a little more, and that's why we're going to see more storms into Thursday. Heavy downpours, gusty winds, and also frequent lightning are something we're watching. This is tomorrow afternoon, so we'll be following that for your afternoon commute. And of course, you lose that when you lose the daytime heating. Into Friday, a little bit more of a lake breeze, sea breeze driven storm chance. Easterly flow here at the surface, which means they'll probably drift off towards the east and the northwest. So the long story short is you need your rain gear over the next few days, and you could find yourself with some isolated street flooding. This is for today, not a ton in terms of the rainfall, but you add each day here. You add in Thursday, you add in Friday, and of course we've got those bullseyes that we need to watch out for. That is what can give you that brief street flood concern, but most of us getting away with maybe 1 to 2 inches over the next few days, but you do have those isolated areas that could see 3+. But here's your week ahead rain chances. Again, upping those chances there for Thursday and then lowering them a bit heading into Friday and into the weekend. This may help you get your lawn mowed here over the next few days, because I know a lot of folks who still want to do that because they haven't had a chance because of all those afternoon storms, but we're keeping the chance for storms a little more elevated into the next week, and let me show you why. So here's our pattern that we have right now. We've got this troughed off towards the north. I have the upper level winds turned on so you can kind of see what's happening. This trough is continuing to give us that chance for some storms into Thursday and into Friday. But once we get this ridge of high pressure to build over us and just to the north of us, I think we'll get a brief little downturn in the storm coverage as it does kind of set up. But once it does, we've got this more onshore flow, and that's going to bring more heavier rain. Tropical downpours are certainly possible with this type of setup, but you're going to hear a lot about this heat dome here because it's going to bring some record-breaking temperatures to folks and some very hot temperatures to folks into the upper plains there. Of course, we're watching Omaha this weekend. They're going to see some hot temperatures from this ridge of high pressure, and we're going to keep that rain chance coming as we head into the next week because this heat dome isn't going to be moving very fast. It's going to keep that flow, keep that stormy pattern towards us. We're also watching to the far south, of course, with the tropics. We've got our named storm in the eastern Pacific is Eric. Nothing to speak of in the Gulf, nothing to speak of in the Caribbean, but you can really make out this hurricane that we have that in the last 6 hours, it has really carved out an eye. You can see here where all the thunderstorms just started to fire up and then start to organize here, and now it's carved out an eye as it's become it's really a category 1 turning into a cat 2 and probably going to turn into a cat 3 before it makes landfall. So here's where it's at right now. There is a hurricane hunter in that storm, and that's why this was getting upgraded to a cat 3, a major hurricane when it makes landfall. And you can see where the landfall potential is and where the hurricane warnings are. There's Acapulco. If you remember October 2023, they had a major hurricane impact that area, so they're watching this one very intently. But folks in Puerto Escondido certainly watching this. They're in the worst place to be with a cone, so cat 3 likely to make landfall at some point tomorrow in southwest Mexico. But other than that, we are not tracking anything else in terms of the Atlantic basin. In fact, we are looking to stay very quiet for the next 7 days at least. Here's your forecast for the next 7 days. Here at home, not so quiet. We got a lot of showers and thunderstorms, temperatures returning to the 90s, and we head into the weekend. Keeping the umbrella close by, but it's not a complete washout. We see about a 30 to 40% chance for some showers and storms. So I would say, just like the last week or so, if you have outdoor plans, just keep looking at that radar because you want to see what's coming for you because there's some heavy downpours this time of year.
Yeah, and when it comes down so heavy.
It does.
It's like if you're unprepared, you get a soaking.
It does, and it's tough sometimes to pinpoint exactly where they're going to form, and then especially when there's no movement. When we talked about that this weekend, you and I talked on Saturday, I believe.
We did.
And I was trying to tell her, like, you know, it's not moving, it's right over you, and it's always right over Liz's house too, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, and so many people in some cases are dealing with that as well. But thank you so much, Amber, and we'll be right back.